Greetings and salutations, YouTube. Today I'm going to tell a story, and it's not an awkward story or anything. It's just a story from my life. It's about my car wreck. I think everyone's probably got a car wreck story of some sort, but this is my car wreck story. And it took place when I was, in the brief period, I was a delivery driver at my work, and there was this notorious family. I won't say their name, but there was this notorious family. They would order from us all the time, and they lived in this trailer park, which, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I've lived in a trailer park, but they lived in this trailer park, but they were hoarders. But not only were they were hoarders of all sorts of things, but one of them was cats. Hoarders of cats, just so many cats. And I understand that hoarding is like a psychological disorder. I understand all those things, but when I got there, like, the smell immediately was horrid. And these people were big people, and they didn't really have teeth. It was a very skin crawling experience for me. So I was, and they were super far away from the stores. So, like, I had to take this one order all the way out there and all the way back, and it was eating like 30-40 minutes of my shift and time alone on this one order, which sucks because as a delivery driver, you want to try and get as many orders as possible, as efficiently as possible, so you can get that tip money. But so I was wasting time there. It was also like raining really bad this day, and another thing is I was broke this month. I had $0 in my account that day. And I remember I was on my way back to the store. I had finally gotten back onto the store side of town. And I was at this red light. I just parked, thinking to myself, I have $0 in my account. I wonder, like, if I got in a wreck, how would that work with my insurance? Like, would having $0 totally screw me? God, that sounds awful. I really hope that doesn't happen. Boom! All of a sudden, I am rear-ended from behind. I smack the car in front of me and watch my hood just crumple up and take up half of my freaking windshield. That car hits the car in front of it, and the reason why is because the person behind me, some 18-year-old texting and driving, don't do that, was not even looking, didn't see that the light was red, didn't even begin to brake. So he smashed into me at 40 miles an hour. So the distance between the car in front of me and me made no difference. Like, I got hit so hard, and my feet were wet because of the rain, so my foot slipped off the brake, but I just got hit so hard. He freaking rocked my world in the worst way possible. So this all happens as I'm wrapping up the thought of, man, I don't want to get in a wreck. And, like, I just immediately just, fuck! Like, just, oh my god. And so then I, of course, have to call my manager and let him know that I got in a wreck. So it's going to be a hot minute before I get back to the store, and also that we're probably not going to be able to do deliveries for the rest of the night. So I call my manager, and what's funny is, I mean, it's not really funny, but what's coincidental, or, yeah, I guess coincidental is the right word. 2 days previous, another one of our delivery drivers had gotten in a wreck. And then 2 months before that, another one of our delivery drivers had gotten in a wreck. So it just kind of seemed like there was this curse on our store. Everybody was getting in wrecks. It was ridiculous. But so I call him, and I'm like, hey, I got in a wreck. And his first words were, no, you didn't. And I was like, yeah, you're really mad. So, like, I wasn't handling this disbelief very well. But he was like, no, you didn't. Yeah, I did. No, you didn't. Yeah, I freaking did. Please be joking. Nope, not joking. And he has to call the store manager, because he was just the shift manager. He had to call the store manager then and let him know that this happened, just so he's aware of, what's going on. And his first response to him was, no, he didn't, because it just seemed so unlikely. But unfortunately, it was true. And right before I called my manager, I was like, someone should probably call the police to, the lady I hit and the kid that hit me. And after I get off, you know, the 5-minute phone call with my manager, shift manager, I was like, has anyone called the police? And they were like, well, I thought he would, I thought she would. And I was like, okay, well, someone needs to. And then my store manager called me to get my side of things, see if I'm okay, how bad's the car, do I need to go to the hospital, you know, all that stuff. And I was fine. All I had was just some bruised ribs from, like, the seatbelt jerking me, but nothing too bad, which was good. I was I wasn't tensed at all because I was just, you know, sitting at a red light, and I didn't see him coming, so I didn't, like, tense up or anything. I was just thinking and then flew forward. So yeah, you know, my manager calls me and making sure I'm okay. And then I get off the phone with him, and that was like another 5-minute phone call. The whole time we're all standing out in the rain. I come back. Has anyone called the police? Nope. Are you freaking kidding me? Okay, fine. I will be the fucking adult here. And I pull out my phone, and I get ready to dial 911. But then I see an officer, like, just 4 cars back, and I just wave him down, and he comes up, and he, you know, he's talking to us, getting all of our information, sending us back to our respective cars, and, you know, getting everyone's story. And he, you know, gets to my car, and I give him my side of the story. And the kid who hit me, he admitted fault right off the bat, which was amazing, always good, because he was at fault. And, like, you know, I was in another wreck before this one time, and it was my fault, and I also admitted fault, like, to my insurance, to their insurance, and my insurance company kept telling me, you know, you don't need to admit fault, you don't have to do that. And even as, like, I was in high school, but I was like 17 or 18, and I was like, no, I mean, I fucked up. This was my fault. This is how this works. This was my fault. I pay for this, or you pay for this and I pay you, however it works. But, like, that's how the world works. When you mess up, you messed up. You take responsibility. I believe in that. So I, you know, admitted fault. And I was very glad that this kid admitted fault. I mean, he did out of panic. I'm not sure he even knew that if he didn't admit fault, things could have gone a different way. But regardless, he did. And because of the sheer amount of speed, me hitting the person in front of me didn't matter. Like, that was also on him, which was fantastic because, like I said, $0. So, yeah, he admits fault. The cop's talking to me, and he goes, so where did he hit you? I go, oh, he just rear-ended the crap out of me. And I hadn't even looked at the back of my car yet. But the front of my car was messed up. In fact, I actually think I might have a picture somewhere in my emails that I emailed the insurance. If I do, I'll put one up so you guys can see the pictures of the wreck. But yeah, no, he hit the fuck out of me, and then me and the officer look at the front of my car, which is just all messed up, and then we round the back to see it. Fucking nothing. Like, the bumper just went in and came back out, and it just got a little scuff. So it looked. Later we found out that it actually went in so far it messed up the frame of the car, which freaking totaled it. But I got a new car, so eventually, so that was good with the insurance money, and it's a nice car. I like my car. But yeah, so that was amazing. It just looks like he didn't even hit me. I was like, well, officer, I swear to God, he hit me from behind, man. And yeah, so, you know, we're working all this out, and I'm just freaking irate because I loved my car. It was a 2003 silver Hyundai Sonata, and I named it. It was the only car I'll probably ever name. Well, I guess I did technically name this one. I don't really call my cars by their name. I think it's, I don't know, it's a little weird for me to, like, name cars or, like, talk to them. Nah, they're inanimate. But, like, my first car, its name was Frank Sinatra, because I'm a Frank Sinatra fan. But Frank Sinatra, and I thought that was super clever. Also, I was pissed off that I was losing Frank Sinatra. What a bitchin' name to just let go of. But I got a new car. It's a dark silver 2004 Mitsubishi Eclipse. I'll put a picture of it now. But yeah, so I named that car Toothless. If you haven't seen How to Train Your Dragon, that's the dragon from that. And it's because of the headlights you can see on the front that, you know, kind of looks like Toothless's big ol' eyes, and he's got that, the car's got like that empty grill section, you know, like no teeth. Yeah, so I thought that was cool. But yeah, so I go back to the store somehow because my car is kind of running. Really hard to drive with a crumpled up hood, by the way. It's a very weird turning. It feels like the car, like, I know cars kind of like do this when you turn, like, you know, because of the springs and stuff. But like, you really notice that when the hood's raised, like, it just feels like your car's like, but yeah, so I get back to the store and I'm freaking pissed. I'm very, very, very upset just with this whole situation because the previous customer experience, like right before this, was horrid, and then this happens and there's phone went off, my bizzle. But yeah, so I actually went home right then. When I got back to the store, I just clocked out and left because I was the delivery driver, so now there was pretty much nothing for me to do until closing time. But I was mad. I had phone calls to make. I had stuff to figure out. So I just went home. Everyone was cool with it. Like, I cleared it with everyone. So I didn't just, like, leave. But, yeah, so I had to, you know, go figure all that stuff out. And it was just a freaking nightmare. But, you know, I was calm and polite with everyone involved in the wreck. Because I try and be pleasant. You know, it's really those moments that define us. Those moments that are when it's hard to be pleasant, can you still maintain it? And, you know, even though I really wanted to rip into this kid, especially because right after he hit me, I looked in my rear view and I could see him. If this was the steering wheel, he was like this already. Like, I got hit, looked up as soon as I was done reacting, like, physically to the hit, and he already had his phone on the steering wheel, which tells me it was already there. And then later he admitted that, you know, he was texting, which, you know, proved it even more. And so I was already just irate, just like, oh my god, you're fucking texting, what are you thinking? And yeah, I mean, that's what happens. You don't, and the freaking raining, I don't know what he was thinking. 18, you know, just a freshman in college, just definitely fresh out of high school. I don't mean anything bad by that, but you know, high schoolers, you'll understand what I mean when you are a little bit out of high school. I know, like, I'm not saying you're bad people. I'm not saying you're, like, dumb people. I'm just saying you learn more as you get older, or you become more conscientious or aware as you get older. And, you know, I used to be the same way. I used to be just the same as that kid. I mean, I never texted while driving, but, and I had my own ways of being the similar absent-minded. But as you get older, you kind of, I don't know, you just start to think more. You know what I'm talking about. I'm talking out of my ass. I don't know. But you'll get it. You'll get it. Like, when you're like 19, 20, you'll start to put it together. I'm so sorry. You know what? I'm just going to turn that on vibrate. Should have done that. Oh, it's my mom. My mom texted me. But, yeah. So, you know, I was pleasant. You know, I was explaining to the officer everything that happened, you know, and, well, of course, my insurance is like, do you need to go to the hospital? Do you want to get any medical checkups? And I was like, I don't need it. And they were like, well, if you need it, you should really go, or you should really go anyway. And I was like, no, I just have a slight bruising on the ribs. I'm in no pain, really, other than just like a And that was it. And I just don't believe in taking advantage of systems or taking advantage of people. It's a shitty thing to do. I mean, like, why would you do that? Why would you take advantage of a person or an insurance company? I don't even understand people who do that. Just, society works so much better when we're all willing to play ball. You know what I mean? Like, just, it all comes back to, it's just like Angry Santa Tack says, if you don't know, I mean, lots of people say this, including that dude from the Bible. What was his name? Oh yeah, Jesus. Yeah. You know, treat others how you would like to be treated. Angry Santa Tack is also very big on this. He's another gaming channel on YouTube. I'll put a description in the annotation right there. But, yeah, you should definitely check him out. He's really good. But, he tries and lives by that same motto, especially with his YouTube channel. Like, he's very supportive of other channels. He, you know, he looks for loyal subs. He's got a shout-out series, too. And it's a very well organized one. But yeah, this is, you know, I try and live my life by that motto. Don't get me wrong, I'm flawed and I fuck up all the time, as we all do. But I try and keep that in mind, and that's why I don't take advantage of those situations, because I would hope that no one do the same to me. Now, someone probably will at some point. But, you know, I'll deal with that as when I have to. But, like, when the officer was talking to me, he was like, you know, he was just talking to me about it. And he goes, oh, you, I hope I'm not peeking. It looks like I might be. Let me turn that down a little. There we go. But, yeah, he was talking to me, and I was like, I mean, it's a shitty situation to be in, man, but realistically, I wasn't going to make it from, you know, 16 to death without getting in one wreck like this, you know, because my first wreck was just in a parking lot of high school, fender bender. But, you know, this was my first on the street, high impact speed wreck, and it was only like 40 miles an hour, thank God, and I was stationary, so, like, it wasn't no head on or anything like that. But, yeah, I mean, I was just like, I mean, realistically, this was going to happen at some point. It sucks that it's happening right now, for sure, but, like, these things happen, and I can't accept that. It makes my life a little more difficult temporarily, but it's only temporary, and it is a learning experience. Everything is a learning experience. So, yeah, that's really about all I can say on the car wreck story. But yeah, that's my story with a car wreck. If you guys have any interesting or crazy car wreck stories, you should leave them in the comments below, or better yet, make a video of you telling your story. Maybe you can also have pictures, and I'd love to check out the video. So, like, you know, send me the video, or, like, I guess you can't really do that anymore. There's no video responses. That has been gone for a minute. But, you know, find some way to let me know that you made a video about your car wreck story, and I will watch it, because I'm interested in everyone else's experiences with car wrecks, because I really only have the one. I don't really count my first one, because I was backing up, and I bumped a car, and yeah, like, that was it. Like, I just, boop, and, you know, just because of the way I hit the car, the bumper clipped this wire that was connected to the battery, that was connected to everything, so the car died. It just needed, you know, a new wire, or to even just be wire capped, would have done it. But yeah, so that is my car wreck story. I guess 1.5 car wreck story, because I just kind of rattled off that first one real quick. But yeah, let me know if you guys have any interesting car wreck stories also. Thanks again for watching the video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. As always, never forget to smile. And I will see all of your beautiful, gorgeous faces later.